Today we are going to be reading a very iconic Twilight cringe fanfiction. So this fanfiction is written by I'm assuming it's either a middle schooler or I feel like this could also be a parody. I feel like this could very well be a parody. I figured we could each take turns reading a chapter. It's like a page and a half. This is the Forbiden Fruit, the Temptation of Edward Cullen. All right, let's get started with chapter 1, Atlantiana. Hey, my name's Atlantiana Rebecca Lauren, but everyone calls me Tiana, or just plain Tia, with 2 A's. My hair is long and pale, like spun gold, and skims to my waist like a pale, shimmering amber mist. Okay, all right, I see you. My eyes are deep, forget-me-note blue, and my delicate features are lily white and pure as the winter snow in moonlight. I've been told by loads of sleazy, ugly guys that I'm real pretty and look like a model or a bunny girl. Can you relate to that at all, Vic?
No, I don't even have... What the fuck is a bunny girl, actually?
Some of the guys who like me are really old and try to make opt with me, and it's disgusting and weird. But basically, a lot of the girls I meet tell a different story. They say I'm too ivory white and ethereal and too skinny, and that I look anorexic, which I don't care about. But I think it's seriously disrespectful to people with real eating disorders. By the way, I'm so totally not anorexic. I eat loads. I just never gain weight. And, and I'm not thin enough to be anorexic anyways. I think they were just being biatches, especially this one ratty brain called Ellie Mayfair. Is that somebody in her real fucking life? Is she doxing somebody from her middle school who I hope freaking dies in pain with shit on her face? Sorry, I'm not really such a batch, but she is so horrible.
Not the batch.
Anyways, I am quite tall and slim, but with really big boobs that that I used to hate because they look noticeable on my slender body.
I can't do this, dude.
I have a lip ring and recently put black and indigo and magenta streaks in my long, pale blonde hair. Not the...
The way it just kept going on. Like, girl, you want to put all colors of the rainbow in there too? Because you're so special.
She does, but it's specifically all the goth colors because she's like not like the other girls. She's so goth. She's so hardcore.
Right.
She also smells like mint and cinnamon.
That is such a gross combination.
I was thinking that I read that and I was like, that's disgusting. Pick one or the other. I paid no attention to the guys asking desperate. Also, none of this has been altered. This is exactly how it's written, like spelling mistakes and all. Attaching to the guys asking desperately for my number. Like hell, I'd even look at the horny little donkeys.
Oh my god.
I sat gazing out of the window into the gray, cloud-embittered sky for most of the morning. Comma, not a period. My teachers all looked at me disapprovable, but said nothing because they probably knew I was a foster kid and gothic and didn't want to upset me in case I cut them up as they slept.
Oh my god. That's wild.
Obviously, that's what all gothic people do. That's how it is. Is that not? What else would there be for a gothic 16-year-old girl to do?
Any folks that identify as goth in the chat, can you sound off below?
How many people have you cut up? Be honest. And on my hand, I have a weird birthmark in the shape of a 7-pointed star. It's like so weird that it's like a literally 100% perfect 7-pointed star, but it's also just a birthmark. It's totally natural. I didn't draw it on there with Sharpie or anything. You're probably wondering, why is she breaking the fourth wall now? You're probably wondering why I'm bothering to tell you this. Well, I tell you now, I am no ordinary 16-year-old girl. I am really graceful, like the running antelopes when I run very fast and am stronger and faster than most people.
Sentence it was so random. How did we get from talking about your weird dreams to running like an antelope?
She needs you to know that she is very graceful and very fast and stronger than most people. At lunch, I sat alone in the corner and scanned the cafeteria quietly with my eyes smoldering dark blue beneath my long black lashes and my slim thighs curled under me. It was the N, I noticed. An unbelievably jaw-droopingly hot dude with tusseted blondie brown hair, golden yellow eyes like wells of hot caramel, and pale, sexy features. My body got hot and cold all at once as I looked at him.
That sounds like diarrhea.
I'd never felt this way about anyone before, and I'd totally never felt this weird feeling that I'd met someone before, but I had no idea where, and I knew it was impossible because I'd freaking remember someone that HAWT hot. A girl sat next to him with long brown hair, with her arms dripped over him like a freaking flesh-eating plant. That's right. We are not.
Oh my god.
We're not replacing Bella as the MC.
Wait.
Bella's already in here.
This is awesome. I totally thought that we were replacing her.
So I thought, well, whatever. He's taken. She wasn't nearly as hot as he was, but she wasn't ugly though. But anyways, I'd never tried to pilch with another girl's BF, because that's just low. All right, she has standards at least. So I got up to leave the hall thinking I'd go and smoke some bald drugs in the locker room. I have no idea what this is. Bad drugs? I smoked dope in the locker.
Oh my god.
WTF, I screamed loudly. Watch where you're freaking going, you asshole. I have anger problems. I'm so sorry, he said in a voice like wet heaven. Please forgive me, lady. It was the hot, pale guy. And that is the end of chapter 1.
The anger faded from my sapphire eyes. Whatever, I said sweatily. I didn't mean to yell and be a ride. Can I do the Nosferatu voice for Edward?
Yes,
Would that be okay with everyone?
Please.
Thou art too beautiful for that,
he said. And for once, I didn't feel like cock dropping? Cock dropping the guy for paying me a compilement.
Arim Edward Cullen.
He murmured.
Who are thee?
Tiana Lauren. But you can call me Tiana, or maybe Tia, I said, feeling shy at the way he was looking at me. I had seen that.
I'm so sorry.
Thou reminds me of bygone times,
he said, carefully retching out and shaking hand and brushing my chin. I'm not real to do this. You're not so shanky yourself, but I couldn't help but notice that you have a freaking GF, you ass. I saw you with her in the cafeteria. I notched his hand hard with my long black nails.
Thee did notice me then?
He purred with a sly grin. Oh god. I was up against the wall with his face right close to me now. He wanted to sex me, I could tell.
That's the best fucking... He wanted to sex me real good.
And suddenly he was kissing me. Felt my slim legs would break in half and my heart expanded like a big balloon. I fell, his hand sliding softly down my neck and underneath my top. He stoked my breasts for a few minutes, and his man carrot standing in action as hard as a rock between my legs. And then he ripped my top and pulled it of me and doped it on the floor. We made out for 10 minutes, and then he tried to take off my bra. But I pushed him away, suddenly thinking, what the fuck, Tia? Are you just gonna let this total stranger take your cloths off? In school, I never let a guy kiss me before or touch me, And suddenly, I was letting this cheating sicko with a frickin' GF grope me just because he was uber hot and sexoy hair and cold as death. I was acting like a biatch and a slut, and I was suddenly very ashamed of my actions. Bastard! Never touch me again! I gasped.
If thou thinkst thou can keep thou hands of me.
He answered all smug. I couldn't believe how he made me feel so angry and so aroused at the same time. At that moment, I've never hated anybody more in my whole life. And the worst part of it was he was so freaking hot. I felt disguised with myself and turned to leave.
Wait, I need to speak to thee. I made your secret, Tia.
He said in a quiet voice, gassing, literally farting into her eyes.
Vic, I'm crying.
Gassing into my eyes. My knee came up hard against his oh my god! My knee came up hard against his massive throbbing giggle stick between his legs, and he drubbed over in pain.
Oh my God.
I broke free and goaded my books and started rugging away to Matt.
Oh my God.
You're so freaking weird. As he lay on the floor so hot and crying with his shirt off. Wait, when did he take his shirt off? With his pippling. I don't even know what that is supposed to mean, but okay. His pippling body. I wanted to forgive him for calling me a vampire and making fun of me and trying to force me against the wall. Huh? And maybe plunder my crib. Wait! What is she saying?
He might have wanted to plunder her crevices. I am in tears. I sat alone, watching TV at Dave and Marie's house. I couldn't stop thinking about my encounter with Edward Cullen. He was so beautiful and sexoy with such amazing hair. But I was angry at how he had made me feel, how I'd burnt like crimson hot flame when he touched me, and how he'd not listened to me when I'd told him to fring off, and how he dared to touch me at all when he had a GF anyways. Suddenly, the phone rang. Hello? Hey, is this Atlantiana?
That's so good.
Yeah, who is this? I asked. It's Mike Newton from your class. Oh wait, it's Mike. It's not Uncle. Sorry, Mike, I didn't mean to disrespect you like that. I was wondering if you wanted to go to La Push with me too, tomorrow night maybe? Okay, maybe I'll go along. If I don't have anything else to do, I said, not believing a word he said about how pretty I was. Thank you, Atlantiana. Thank you so much. He sounded so happy, I couldn't help but smile as I put the phone down. But my smile faded as I returned to my thoughts. Mike Newton was kind of cute and seemed like an okay guy, but he was nothing next to Edward Cullen. Even though I was angry with Edward than I have ever been with anyone in my life, and part of me wanted to chop his head off with a saw. A part of my soul would always remain in that corridor where we had kissed so hard and passionately. I creamed myself.
Oh my god.
Bye, Tia. We'll be back on Thursday, okay? Dave's brother, Larry, will be looking after you while we're gone. Greeting, Atlantiana. My name's Uncle Larry, said Uncle Larry. He came in through the door. He was fat and bald. You're an evil bitch, aren't you? Go outside and wash my car, he shouts angrily.
Holy shit.
I stood up and left to wash his car. Why? I went outside and start to wash Hush car. He came outside and washed me. After a night, he came over and hit me hard across the face.
Wait, I shouldn't laugh.
WTF, I shouted. He poured the bucket of water all over me and hit me again. I cried madly and ran off into the seething darkness of the midnight street. Suddenly, a blast of white light exploded in my head, and my mark on my hand burned like a flame. I closed my eyes and saw the face of a tall, white man looking over me with no expression. Atlantiana, he whispered, in a voice softer than clouds. My daughter? OMG. I whispered. as my mind went blank. So that's chapter 3. Introduce Uncle Larry. I had to delete a lot of
I was
things.
wondering, what was he being like super abusive?
He ratatouilles her a lot.
What? No.
Like at some point in like every other chapter from this point on includes him ratatouilleing her. So I had to delete all of it.
La Push, baby, La Push. I sat quietly on the La Push beach, apart from the party that was going on beside me. Oh my god, Mike, what are you talking to her? I turned around and saw 4 nasty faces leering at us. I got up and pushed past them and ran away into the darkness. Are you okay? Said someone from beside me. Who are you? I asked. 3 really pretty goth girls were standing there smiling at me, and I smiled back. We are Tiffany, Abigail, and Rochelle, they said, smiling. You seem cool. You want to be our friends? Yeah, of course, I said. And we talked for hours. But after a while, they all went home and I stayed on the beach. Suddenly, I heard a voice from behind me. Oh my god, it's him.
It is.
Well, Tia, thou seem to be causing quite a stir at school.
His voice was smooth and sexoid. What do you mean? I demanded.
Basically, every gay at school wants to have sex with me. How's that for causing a stir, my lady?
He smiled and kissed my neck. Shut up, jerk. BTW, I met your girlfriend before, Bella, I think her name is. I don't like her or anything, but how the hell can you cheat on her like that and kiss me how you did? You're a cheating bastard, and I should tell everyone.
OMG, sweet lady. Thou must not tell anyone. It was a moment of madness, that is all.
Fine, stay away from me, I shouted as I left to go home, and he followed me and grabbed me and pushed me down on the grind. He put his hands inside my panties, and I gasped. I was suddenly desperate to sex with him, and I tore my clothes off, and I was in my underwear. I took off my bra and showed him my naked, heaving breasts.
I can't,
He said, although his body was on top of mine, and his fingers touched my nipples. Please, I'm begging you, I said, hating myself for being such a dirty whore, but unable to control my burning desire.
No!
He shouted and ran away crying. I put my clothes back on slowly, feeling so ashamed and embarrassed. I could hardly move. I feel like we need to sit and process that for a second.
I just love the dichotomy of, fine, then stay away from me. I was suddenly desperate and I tore my clothes off and I was in my underwear. Oh god, it's so good. It was a week later, and I felt like I was slowly dying inside. Edward Cullen stared at me whenever he saw me at school, but I just anchored him and pretended he wasn't there. I was so embarrassed about what had happened, I would probably have thought about Sudoku if it hadn't been for my lovely new friends, Abigail, Rochelle, and Tiffany, who were all totally cool and helped me fight off the evil cheerleaders. I sat in the cafeteria with them at lunch. Hey Tiana, are you doing the talent contest tonight? Rochelle asked me. No way, I'm not good enough, I said shyly. OMFG, you're, amazing! Shouted Abigail. Come on, Tia. You have to do it, Tiffania said. Jessica and Bella and the cheerleaders win every time with their dumb dance routine. It is so annoying. Someone needs to teach them a lesson, hun. I don't know. Maybe. I pimpled mutely. The high school acne just really be running around. Later on, me and my friends sat in the crowd and watched the contest. The cheerleaders did their dance routine, and they weren't that awesome. They were just wearing slutty cloths so all the guys could stare at them. At the end, Bella ran into Edward's arms, and I felt flames of jealousy burning me up inside. They kissed for a long time, and although he looked at me the whole time, ew,
Imagine.
the principal caked up on the stage.
Let's go.
caked up on the stage and said, "And now for our final act, Atlantiana Rebecca Lauren." Everyone looked at me and I was shocked. Rounds of applause. "OMFG, who put my fringing name down for this?" I screamed. Abby pushed me towards the stage, and I went up there. I sang Total Eclipse of the Heart, punk rock version, so it wasn't sappy and lame or anything. And everyone watched me. The song finished, and everyone looked happy and clangled at me, and I went blushing to sit on my friends.
Awesome.
"Remind me to kill whichever one of you beaches put my name down for this," I said, but I was smiling. And the winner is Atlantiana Rebecca Lauren! I went back up onto the stage and shook his hand, and everyone applauded me and screamed my name, except for Jessica and Bella, who looked like they were about to kill me. Limfow. My eyes strayed to where Edward stood gazing baldly at me. I almost fainted right then at the sight of him looking so hot and gorgeous. I didn't think anyone else had noticed, but he had a massive erection.
Oh my god.
Later on, I walked home happily, then a car purred up beside me. It was Udard.
"Get in the car. I'll drive thee home, sweet lady."
I did as he told me, without knowing we're quiet for my night.
"You were awesome tonight. I wanted to charge right at you and kiss thine lips right there."
He still had a huge erection.
Oh my god. It's the next line.
And I wanted to touch it so badly, but I didn't. I think Bella, why did she scream it like that, might have had something to say about that. I snapped. "Where is she, Nui?" Where is she, Nui?
"At home, sulking because she lost the contest."
At that moment, Edward pulled his car to the side of the road and looked me in the touched my hand, and I slapped him hard in the face. "You will never touche me again, you sicko!" I wailed and kept hitting him in the face and chest. "Last week I fucking begged you to sex on me, and you turned me down. One, my might, you're all over me, and the next, it's like I didn't even exist. Didn't fucking touch me ever!"
"It's complicated, dear my lady. I'm sorry I hurt thine feelings. It's just I can't resist thee, but I can't be with thy either. I never meant to drag thou into this mess. It's not thee fault I totally ruin everything."
"It's me or her," I said bluntly.
Oh, shit.
"I can't make that choice, Tia."
He wept. Why is he? Can we have one scene where he's not in fucking tears? Why is
No.
he weeping?
"First, thee have to tell me who thou really are. Who were thy parents? What are thee?"
My mom dies when I was born. I never knew my father.
"We both know that's not the full story. You're a vampire like me."
OMFG, I'm not a freaking vampire. I'm sorry, hang on, wait. Did he just reveal the fact that he's a vampire and she had no reaction to it except for, I'm not a freaking vampire?
Did she not know?
What?
"You don't drink human blood?"
He asked. "I don't drink any blood, you asshole." I got out of the car and ran away feeling insulted. I didn't want to see that stupid hot jerk ever again. I went home, but I couldn't get rid of the memory of his sharp erection. I went to sleep in tears.
Imagine crying yourself to sleep at the thought of someone's erection.
Sharp erection.
God. Oh, Erdard, with your skin so white, your eyes like amber out of sight, pale angel in my eyes, hair like gold rosy sunrise. I read the words of my poem out quietly. I had written a poem about Edward. I just couldn't help myself. Suddenly, my mind went black, and I fell into a trance. A tall, pale man stood in front of me, all ghostly and misty.
My daughter, I am your father. Beware the vampire boy called Edward.
Why?
You mustn't let him sex you or the curse your mother tried.
Where the fuck are we going, man? Your mother tried to protect you from will fall on you. You'll become a vampire. Then he faded, and I was awake. And Uncle Larry was standing at my door. Oh my God. But at that moment, someone came running into the room and hit Uncle Larry across the head with a stick and knocks him out cold. Uncle Larry laid there, bleeding, and I looked up at Edward.
OMG, my sweet lady.
He cried.
What has this frightful asshole been doing to thee?
He's been hitting me. I wept sadly as Edward unchained. Wait, when was she chained? As Edward unchained me and I put my clothes on. Edward turned away while I dressed, so he wasn't perving on me, even though he had put his hand in my panties before.
Yeah.
And he looked down at the poem I had written.
These are the most beautiful words I had ever seen. I wish I wasn't promised to someone else. Then I could write poems for thee.
Pause. So he can put his hands in her panties, but he can't write her a poem.
Right?
That's the line.
Why are you promised to Bella anyways? I asked.
Because I made a promise, I can't break it. It would be rude and ungentlemanly.
We left the house and went to walk in the woods. We talked about loads of things, and it turned out we had a lot in common. You know, maybe Bella is unhappy because you guys are not in love like you used to be, and you should break up with her so she can move on and you can both be happy, I say.
She always used to say that she unalived herself if I left her. I could not be responsible for her death. I just don't get what has happened to her. She used to be nice and sweet like thou, my lady. And now I am falling in love with thou, and it is all such a darn mess.
He hit a tree in frustration and it broke. He was so strong. I guess because he was a vampire. You're falling in love with me?
Forget I said that.
He looked really embarrassed, and it was so cute. He had a big erection, too. Why does he always have an erection? I reached out and grabbed his hard, throbbing male object. We couldn't control ourselves anymore, and we both fell down on the floor and got naked and made love. Holy shit, okay. But after a while, Edward started to freak out and cry.
Edward cries during sex. It's canon.
I have been such a fool.
He screamed.
I should not have let that happen. I hope thee can forgive me. I must return to Bella.
And he ran away. I was so shocked and angry, I could not even cry or scream. But as I lay there, I started to feel different, like really different. I suddenly remembered what my father had said to me, about not making sex with Edward or he would turn me into a vampire. My skin was getting all hard and pale, and my eyes could suddenly see a lot clearer than before. I wanted to drink blood, and I could smell a human coming closer. There you are, you horrid slug. It was Uncle Larry. Where have you been? Get over here. Something in me snapped. I jumped at him and broke his neck and drank his blood. R.I.P., man. Soon I dropped him on the floor, and he was dead. Okay, that was a lot.
Edward finally gave in. I woke up sheepishly and wandered where I was for a minute. I got out of bed, wondering if all things that had happened to me last night were just a dream. I went downstairs for breakfast and sat down with Dave and Marie. They look at me and smiles adoringly. Wow, Tia, I love your new hair and contact lenses. I got up and looked in a mirror. Holy shite! I looked totally different. For the first time, I could see my face was truly beautiful. I was radiant and magical. Suddenly the phone rang and nuked me out of my silent staring. Dave answered it. What? Oh my god, you're kidding. This is inconsideratable. What's happened, honey? Marie asked, smiling. Uncle Larry is died. It looked like he was ripped apart by a wild beast. I feel so sad. He was my brother. I suddenly remembered what I had done, and I screamed. and ran to school. I ran through the forest towards the school, but suddenly a large thing appeared in front of me. It was a bear! A big panda bear! I was scared as this was a totally weird thing to happen.
Greetings, Atlantiana,
It said. I was totally freaked out. Since when did panda bears live in forks? And since when did they speak? WTF, I screamed.
I'm a panda bear. My name is Suflanti Tatuna, but you can call me Snoofles.
What the fuck is happening?
We lost the plot here just a little bit,
We
not gonna lie,
did.
not gonna lie.
I cannot talk like humans can, but you're not human anymore. So you can understand me. You can talk to animals.
Okay.
You probably have other powers too. You just don't know it yet.
This is so dumb, dude.
I know. I ran away and was totally weirded out by my meeting with Snoofles. Girl, we all were. 'Cause I was almost in a trance at school. In gym class, I ran around dressed in my gym clothes. Oh wow, a normal outfit for once. I was playing dodgeball, and the cheerleaders kept throwing their balls at me really hard, like biatches. But I was dodging them at the speed of light. Lauren came over to me and tries to hit me over the face with her balls, and I slapped her in the face. WTF, you freaky goth tutor bitch, she shouted.
I love that.
I know.
That's my new insult.
Leave me alone, yeah, I said, looking more beautiful than ever. No, I'll never leave you alone. What has happened to your face? It's like you're from another planet. You're so pale and delicate. It's freaking everyone out, and we all hate you. I was so mad. I pushed her. But when my hands touched her arms, her skin started to blister and froth in a totally gross way, and she got struck by a bolt of lightning. She wasn't dead or anything, but she looked totally disgusting. After gym class, I sat in the changing rooms and cried because I felt so sorry for what I had done to Uncle Larry and to Lauren.
Tia, it is I, Edward Cullen,
Said Edward. I turned to kook at him, and he gasped in a high-pitched way and fell over onto the floor. He got up in a minute.
I fainted, Tia. Thou is so sexy and exquisite. I lost my contentiousness.
Then he noticed I was crying tears of soft blood, and he said,
What is wrong with thee?
Said Edward. I killed someone who uttered.
It's okay, Tia.
Still, what I did was awful, and anyways, get off me. Don't come near me ever again. I haven't forgiven you for what happened last night. We did sex, and you left me there in the forest.
I'm sorry. I cannot stay away from thee.
Make your mind up, Udard. This is a serious thing. Either Ether stay here with me now and screw me and be with me forever, or leave and go be with Bella.
I choose thee, Adelantina. Bella is a big, mean cow, and I can't be with her anymore. I will never leave thou side again, my lovely damsel.
I kissed him. He was so amazing. I took off my dress, so I was only wearing my underwear, and I sat on his knee, and we kissed a lot. He touched me all over, and I felt dizzy and weak. Do you mean it, Edward? You'll be mine forever?
I does. I shall be thy mate.
I found some handcuffs on a bench. He was unable to move, and I took his pants down and looked at his throbbing lavender man fruit
Why is
thing.
it lavender? Holy shit.
Suddenly, a voice came from behind me. What do you think you're doing, you evil rodent people? I hate you! I hate you both, and now I'm going to commit Sudoku! It was Bella Swan!
Holy shit. The final chapter, I was almost naked and looked awesome with my exotic lithely hair falling down my face like a curtain. But I didn't care how beautiful or exquisite I was anymore. Edward was gone. He had left to follow Bella to stop her from doing something stupid, and I was so mad. How could he leave me like that after saying Bella was a cow and he didn't like her no more? I was pissed. So I went home and skipped school and sat in my room in my black corset and I smoked some drugs. I got dressed in a long black dress and took some pills of drugs and went to the local nightclub, which was called Pablo Nightmare. It was a goth club where all the cool people went in for Bella probably had never even heard of it. Lol. I met, oh my god, not fucking Snoofles is back. I met Snoofles on the way and he came with me. We went to the club and got drinks and started dancing to the heavy metal music. People there stared at us because I was so different looking and Snoofles was a panda. We had taken a lot of drugs, so my head was fuzzy like there was snow everywhere. Hi, you're called Tiana, aren't you? Oh my god, it's Jasper! Hi, you're called Tiana, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
I'm Jasper, and I go to your school, said Jasper Cullen, who was tall with blonde curly hair. Why aren't you with that girl I always see you with? You mean my GF Alice? What is wrong, Jasper? The problem is I don't love her like she loves me. Oh, I'm gay, and that's wrong, and I feel so horrible about it.
What?
Really? He said. Who's he? And looked shocked with his mouth open. There's nothing bad about being gay, you know, I said. Yeah, it's proper normal and Snoofles is gay and ever. Oh, wait. I don't know who the fuck is talking right now.
Neither do I.
Yeah, it's proper normal and Snoofles is gay and everything, I said. And Snoofles waved and oh my god, they're gonna hook up. They're gonna hook up at the club. Snoofles waved and Jasper waved back. He smiled and we all stared, dancing together, and Jasper gave us some of his drugs. We had a really good time, and Jasper met another, unfortunate.
Yeah.
He met another gay guy called Vince, and we all got Snoofles in the car.
It's the panda of a car.
At the end of the night, and I drove around while all the others had sex in the back of the car? Okay, a three-way. Slay. Suddenly, something jumped into the road in front of us, and I had to stop the car and get out. There was a man standing in the middle of the road. He was tall and muscly and had black hair like the black feathers of a raven in the black darkness. He was good looking, but he looked so angry. I got out my samurai sword. I often have it with me, but someone jammed up behind me and tore it from me. They were like 10 people, all grabbing my body in the darkness, and they put a thing over my face so I couldn't see, and they tied me up. Jasper, Snoofles, and Vince were too busy doing gay sex on each other to notice. I could hear them grunting and humping and having orgasms on each other. It was so cute, but now was so not the time. The men who had caught me took me away, and something hit me over the head, and I was unconscious. When I awoke, I found myself in a small dark room, and the tall muscle man was in front of me. I was stripped down to my underwear, and I was chained to a chair with some metal chains that were chaining, and I chained and I couldn't move. Who are you, you wanky perv? I shouted. I am Jacob, the werewolf king. He looked so mad and crazy. No! I screamed, and I tried to break myself free, but I was under so many heavy chains. What do you want from me? Why am I here? You must be punished for what you did to Bella Swan, he shrieked, and the drool was slopping down his face just like rain. You are a half-bred! Oh my god! You should have never been born! Your father was a vampire and your mom was a witch! Half-bred! 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 What do you mean my mom was a witch? My father used to know her, and she was a witch. I was so shocked, I fainted. When I woke up, Jacob was in front of me, and he was naked, and his male genital item was not nice. Oh my god. Not the cock shaming. It was like a horrible wet mushroom. Holy fuck. He stroked my knee with it. Ew! And I gasped. What was he doing to me? But suddenly, before he could come any closer, the door of the room we were in burst open. It was Erdard.
And
we'll never know what happens next.
we'll never know what happens.
Oh my god.
It just ends on that cliffhanger.
This is the worst.
I know. I'm so happy that I got to read this fanfic with you. Also, let's just give props to the author, 666 Bloody Fangs 666. Thank you all so very much for hanging out. I had an absolute blast. Good night. Mwah.